Hello guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Today I will be telling you about different ways on how you can read more in 2021. 2020 wasn't a great year for reading for me, as I read about 12 books the whole year, which is a lot less than I usually read. So I did set my reading challenge for about a book a week this year, 52 books. By the end of 2021, it's a good goal. It's quite simple, quite straightforward. Some weeks I'll read 2 books, 3 books. Other weeks I won't read at all. So this gives me enough leeway to do what I want with it. Audiobooks. Audiobooks are the first thing that I am going to hopefully increase on, as I have subscribed to Audible, and with that £1 a month and also different deals that they make throughout the year. I just got a deal for 2 for 1 in the UK. I don't know if it's available worldwide, but in the UK it is available, 2 for 1 books. Audiobooks, however, they are a limited selection of books. The books that I have got on Kindle at the moment is Circe by Madeline Miller. It's a Greek mythology story about Circe and the things that she's gone through. I'm not going to get into it, otherwise I'll spoil it because it's still very fresh in my mind. Then you've got the Priory of Orange Tree. That's a massive book. Everyone's raving about it. There's so many different perspectives on it, and it's intrigued me. So it was it was on the 2 for 1 Audible books. However, it is a little bit over 25 hours long, so that's a very, 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 very long book. It's about 900 pages. So that will take a while to get through, but if I get really into it, I'll probably finish it within a couple days. We'll see. Mexican Gothic. It is, as long as I'm aware, it is a book about a girl whose family member calls her for help. She goes into this house and the rest is part of the story. She is thrown into a very scary situation, many scary situations, and I do know that it is a thriller / horror story, so I am very excited about that because that's also a new theme that a new genre that I'm gonna be dwelling into this year. And the fourth and final book that I have so far on my Audible is The Ninth House by Leah Bardugo. They are all very lengthy. Obviously the Priory of the Orange Tree is insanely big, but also people are raving about it. It's a good challenge. It's part of my 52-week challenge. So that's the first thing that I'm going to be doing this year, to make sure that I read more books. Another thing that I have realised is I do read a lot at night. However, sometimes I can't have a light on the side. For whatever reason, I do not want to have a light on in the room, and I quite do enjoy reading in the dark, as many people do, but instead of having a little flashlight, I have a Kindle, which has been a lifesaver, especially for nights where I can't sleep. But yeah, in there I've got many books that I still have to read. However, I will have, for example, a physical copy where I read during the day, and during the night sometimes I'll just pop into my Kindle and get the Kindle copy, the ebook. So that will be fun. On my Kindle TBR, I've got the Bargainer series by Laura Thalassa, and this book, it just came onto my Goodreads and it was a massive discount for the three books in the collection, and therefore I just bought the collection, and I thought, hey, why not? It looks really good. I'm hoping it's as good as it sounds. If not, you'll be hearing it from me in here. And if it is, maybe if it's really, really, really good, you'll be hearing about it on here as well. That's another way I'm planning on reading more in 2021. Another way I'm planning to read more is by cutting down the screen time on my phone. Every time I go on Instagram or Twitter, I am down a loophole. I spend hours sometimes on my phone. So I do have a 30-minute a day timer, so a reminder that comes onto my phone every time I'm on Instagram scrolling for longer than 30 minutes. So I've got that on, and that will hopefully remind me not to scroll for 30 minutes at a time, or 40 minutes at a time, or 50 minutes at a time, sometimes it's hours. And that will also make sure that at night, instead of scrolling through Instagram or Twitter or whatever when I can't sleep, I will instead read a book, which therefore increases how much I read in 2021, which is great. The next thing I need to make sure I do is, if I'm getting bored of a book, not to fall into the pit where I guilt trip myself into reading this book and then I'm not interested, I keep putting it down. If I don't want to read it, if I don't feel like it, I simply won't read it. Close the book, put it back on your shelf, and then one day, which happens quite a lot, I'll feel like continuing that story and I'll continue reading it. This has happened many times. Like, for example, Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. Started that, I'm like about 100 pages in, I got kind of bored, and then I put it down. It's nothing to do with the book, it's just my mind span and my focus time and me not being able to stick to a novel sometimes as much as I'd like. An example of this is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I absolutely loved that book, but it did take me 2 weeks to finish. Am I grateful? Yeah, but could I have read other things during that time that really captivated my attention right off the bat? Yeah, I could have. I could have read so many other books. If I'm not feeling it, I simply will put it down and then continue reading it another time if I feel like it. It has nothing bad. There's no bad connotations to that, honestly. Twitter will hate me because I won't actually finish reading the book, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm new to all this. Cut myself some slack. Another thing I'd really like to do is actually read my physical books. Now, like I said before, I love a good Kindle and I love reading at night. But instead of staying up till 3-4 a.m. reading on my Kindle, why not actually wake up at a decent time, like around 7 or 8 a.m, which I can very well do. I'm a morning person as much as I'm a night owl. I would simply just go to bed early, even if I'm not sleepy, and then wake up early, even though I want to sleep in. That makes sense. Jesus, that was hard. But yeah, do that and then read. I love reading in the morning. My best mornings have started with me reading. We're going to the beach, but reading. So why not continue doing that and do that instead of reading it till 4 a.m. or it's just not as productive, okay? I don't feel as productive, it doesn't feel as good, and I'm not paying fully attention to the writing at 4 in the morning. I am instead just taking in all the plot and not the actual writing of the story, which I've never actually heard anyone say before, so do tell me if you feel that way as well. An example of this is the Darker Shade of Magic collection. For example, I haven't finished the Darker Shade of Magic collection because I haven't picked up the physical copy and read it. I have the physical copy, but I don't have the Kindle copy. Therefore, I won't read it because it's not in my Kindle, but only because I don't want to buy it on my Kindle. It's a cycle. That's how I'm gonna be planning on reading more in 2021. Another way I'm planning on reading more is to actually slot it in. If I've got a 20-minute break, don't pick up that book and read for those 20 minutes. Go have a cup of tea, eat a biscuit, have some food, whatever. It's also quarantining in the UK, so not quarantining, but work's off, so I'm just at home studying, so I don't have much else to do other than study, read, eat and do chores. So that's the main thing, isn't it? So if I have a 20-minute break between lessons, instead of picking up the book and constantly engaging myself, I can go have a cup of tea, come back, continue with that lesson, and then at the end of the lesson, if I feel like it, continue reading. Why? Because then I have enough breaks where I don't feel exhausted by 6 p.m. and then can't read anymore. So basically be more productive with my reading time instead of blopping it in every wherever, randomly. Actually schedule it in. So schedule in things I like into my timetable. And that's about it. Thank you for joining me on this very short, wonderful video, and I hope you come back whenever I post next, because I have been very bad at keeping on with my Friday posting. Do come back if you do enjoy. Watch my other 2 videos, which are not to this quality, but will hopefully I'll improve with time. Like, subscribe, and comment any improvements that you reckon I should do. And hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye!